Hello guys, welcome back to my another After Effects tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to see how to create 3D parallax slideshow animation in After Effects. So without any wait, let's see the preview. Here you can see, I have already imported two media files for this demonstration. And at the end of this tutorial, I am going to show you how you can create this full slideshow fast. And how you can duplicate comps and replace them easily, so watch till the end of this video. You can also get this complete slideshow template from my store, download link is provided in the description. Now let's start with creating our parallax slideshow. Create a new composition. Name it as Slide 1. Make sure width and height is set to 1920 by 1080 pixels. Frame rate is set to 30 frames per second. Here we will set time duration to 5 seconds. And if you want this slideshow to be fast, you need to reduce the time duration. Now let's add the media file to timeline. If you want, you can also add video file. Here I will pre-compose my media file. Let's name it as Image 1. For this image file, in Effects and Preset, search for Motion Tile. Add it to the image composition. For Motion Tile, we will set output width and output height to 200. Select Mirror Edges. Perfect. Let's change the composition to a 3D composition. Here we will create a duplicate of this composition. Press Ctrl+D to create a duplicate. For this duplicate composition, we will add mask. Double-click on this rectangle tool, this will create mask for image composition. In Mask 1, we will change mask path. Change unit to % of source. Set top to 40%. Bottom to 60%. Set mask feather value to 50. Also mask expansion to 50. If you hide this comp, you can see the effect. Now let's again create duplicate of above image composition. In Mask, change mask path. For each composition, we will reduce the top value by 10% and increase bottom value by 10%. Change top to 30%. Bottom to 70%. Again create duplicate. In Mask, change mask path. Change top to 20%. Bottom to 80%. Again create duplicate. In Mask, change mask path. Change top to 10%. Bottom to 90%. Now we need to change this duplicate composition to invert, or you can also change mode to subtract. Do this for all compositions, except for the last composition. You can see the created mask for each composition is different. Now let's give them a parallax effect. Change the view mode to left. Here we will adjust the position for all the image comps, except for the first image composition. Now press P to bring up the position. For second image composition, change the Z-axis position to 250. You can see in the preview. Similarly, for third image composition, we will set Z-axis position to near about 500. Perfect. For fourth image composition, set it to 750. For final composition, set it to 1000. Perfect. Now let's get back to our active camera. Here you can see, we need to increase the scale value, to bring these compositions to the same size and also to fit them to screen. Select the image composition, press S to bring up the scale. Here we will increase the scale value of each composition by 10%. For second image composition, change scale value to 110%. For third, change it to 120%. For fourth, change it to 130%. For fifth, change it to 140%. Perfect. Now let's create a new camera layer. Now create a new null object. Change null object to 3D, parent camera to null object. At start of the timeline for null object, press R to bring up the rotation. Create keyframe for Y rotation, change rotation value to near about -20 degree. You can see the effect. Now at 2 seconds and 15 frames, change rotation value to 0. Now at end of the timeline, change rotation value to 20 degrees. You can see the preview. Perfect. If you want, you can also adjust the rotation value. For null object, press P to bring up the position. Now at 2 seconds and 15 frames, create keyframe for position. Now at start of the timeline, let's change position value for x-axis as shown. Perfect. Now at end of the timeline, change position value for x-axis as shown. Now you can see the preview. Perfect. For null object, press S to bring up the scale, create keyframe for scale. Change scale value to 110%. At end of the timeline, change scale value to 90%. Perfect. Here our image part is complete. Now let's add the text. Here I am using Railway font family. Link to this font is provided in the description. Here I will set font style to heavy. Align the text to center. Perfect. Now let's animate the text. From Animate select Tracking. At start of the timeline, create keyframe for tracking. Now at end of the timeline, change tracking amount to 20. For text layer, again add tracking. In range selector 1. At start of the timeline, create keyframe for offset, change offset value to -100. At 2 seconds and 15 frames. Change offset value to 100. Now for animator 2, let's add property, blur. Set blur to 50. Now add property, opacity. Set opacity to 0%. In advance, change shape to ramp up. Change randomize order to on. Set random seed to 1. You can see the preview. Let's change the text layer to 3D. You can see the camera effect, it's also applied to text layer. Now press R to bring up rotation. At 2 seconds and 15 frames. Create a keyframe for Y rotation. At start of the timeline, change Y rotation value to 45 degrees. You can see the preview. Perfect. Now let's add individual text. Here you can add any letter of your choice. Increase the font size. You can adjust the position. For text layer, press T to bring up the opacity. Change opacity to 20%. Let's change the layer to 3D. Now press R to bring up the rotation. At 2 seconds and 15 frames, create a keyframe for Y rotation. At start of the timeline, change Y rotation to 45 degrees. You can see the effect. Perfect, let's create duplicate of this text layer. Position it. Change the letter. Perfect. Now let's add some grid effect to this slideshow. Create a new solid layer. Here I will name it as dots. For solid layer, in effects and preset, search for CC ball action. Add it to solid layer. For CC ball action, change grid spacing to 15. Change ball size to 5. In effects and preset, search for fill. Add it to solid layer. Change fill color to white. Now again create a solid layer. Name it as noise. In effects and preset, search for fractal noise. Add it to solid layer. For noise layer, change fractal type to turbulent smooth. Noise type to spline. Change contrast to 400. Change brightness to -60. Now at start of the timeline, create keyframe for evolution. At end of the timeline, change evolution to 7 rotation. You can see the preview. In effects and preset, search for fast blur. Add it to solid layer. Set blurriness to 250. In effects and preset, search for tritone. Add it to solid layer. Set midtone color to white. Now for dot layer. Change track matte to Luma matte noise. Now select both layers. Pre-compose them. Name it as dots. Now let's create a new adjustment layer. For adjustment layer, in Effects and Preset, search for Vibrance. Add it to adjustment layer. Change Vibrance to 100. Saturation to 5. In Effects and Preset, search for Tint. Add it to adjustment layer. Here we will change the color. Set amount of tint to 10%. You can see the tint effect. Now again add tint effect. Change color to blue. Set amount of tint to 10%. In Effects and Preset, search for Curves. Add it to adjustment layer. Adjust the curves as shown. Perfect. Now make sure you have not selected any layers. Now select Ellipse tool. Now press Shift and Ctrl to create a perfect circle as shown. Make sure Fill is set to solid color. Stroke is set to none. For shape layer, press P to bring up the position. Add 1 second, create keyframe for position. Now at start of the timeline. Change position value for x-axis as shown. In Effects and Preset, search for Fast Blur. Add it to shape layer. Change blurriness to 300. For shape layer, we will change mode to Stencil Luma. You can see the preview. This will make the composition transparent. Here our slide 1 is created. Similarly, you can create multiple slides and create your slideshow. Here you can see the complete preview of slide 1. Best and simple way to create multiple slides. In Project Panel, select slide 1. Press Ctrl+D to create duplicate of slide 1. Perfect. Slide 2 composition is created. Let's open it. Now let's create duplicate of image 1 composition. Now open image 2 composition. Now to replace this media 2 image file, select the image added to the composition. Now press Alt key, and drag the image to timeline over the media 1 file. Perfect. Here our media 1 file is replaced with media 2. Similarly, we need to replace image 1 composition. In slide 2 composition. In slide 2 composition. Select image 2 composition. Select all the image 1 composition. Now press Alt key and drag the image 2 composition to timeline over image 1 composition. Perfect. Here our image composition is replaced. Let's change the text. Now let's see how to bring all created slides composition to one single composition. Here I will create a new composition, we'll name it as Slideshow. time duration to 9 seconds. Now add slide 1 and slide 2 composition to timeline. For slide 2 composition, place it in such a way that it starts at 4 seconds. This will be like an overlay effect. Now let's see the preview. Perfect. Similarly, you can create multiple slides and create your slideshow. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial. If you like this tutorial, then make sure to like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you.